Okay, in my hand I put a deck of cards. Just a normal deck of cards. See? Now, I'm going to be mostly using 4 cards. Here's the 4 cards that I'll use. And then, this is not by coincidence, but, because I didn't set this up before, but yeah, I set it up. And I'll show you. I've got the senior jack of clubs here. So we'll chuck him down there. And on the bottom we've got the senior jack of spades. So we'll just chuck him right there. Just so there's a fine line between them. But still, I've got 2 cards. The bottom is the junior jack of clubs, and we'll put him there on top of his brother. And then there's the junior jack of spades. Chuck him there. So we got the 4 jacks. 2 senior, 2 not. So what happens to a jack when their father, a king, dies? Obviously they'd become a king. So their fathers were dying. So the senior jack of clubs went in to see his father, while the senior jack of spades also went in to see his father, while the 2 junior jacks stayed outside and waited. Their fathers died, unfortunately, while they were in the room. So therefore, the 2 senior jacks, became the new kings. Now, that's not the end of the trick. But the jack of clubs and the jack of spades wanted to be kings more than the 2 kings. So what they decided to do was kill their brothers. But what they did was they'd swap each. So the club would kill the spade and the spade would kill the club. Just so it looked like they wouldn't, kill their brothers. So they were looking through to find 2 bounty hunters. One was called the Jack of Diamonds, because he was perfect at assassinations like a diamond. The other was called the Jack of Hearts, because he was good with the ladies. He was a big ladies' man. But they were hiding somewhere. They could not find them at all. But eventually they found 2 suspicious people. They didn't know who they were in the town, and because they're royalty, they should know who they are. So what they did was they just plucked these 2 people out, and then had a look, because they were wearing masks. And then they eventually got them to speak, and it was the 2 jacks. So therefore, they hired the 2 jacks to kill the kings. So what they did was they sandwiched the king in between them, like that. Then what they did is they shook him up a bit, and then beat him up. And they kept beating him up. They kept beating him up really badly. And they kept beating him up so bad that eventually he was just gone. There was only 3 cards left. 3 people left, sorry, not cards, because these are real people. So therefore, they, kept beating him up really bad. So, yeah, they kept beating him up so bad until, he was gone, which he was gone. So the jack of spades went in the bottom, went in and had a look. So there he is. He had a peek and found that his brother was dead. He was gone, he was missing. So what he did was, he was happy. He was happy with that his brother was gone, because he's evil and he doesn't like him. So the jack decided to find a church to get changed to a king in. So there's the jack, and he was looking through to get changed to a king. But what he didn't notice was that people were watching him, and they were getting all suspicious. He didn't really care. So he just kept going, and then he stopped at a random church. So he stopped at this one here, and then what he did was he shook the place up a bit, because then he turned to the king. So he was all happy and good with that. So here's the 2 red jacks and then the jack of clubs. Then here's the king of clubs. The king of clubs went missing for a while, but they were just trying to find him. Eventually they found him. And then they sandwiched him in between the two assassin jacks. But then he escaped again. But then they found him again. So he got lost for a while there. So he kept running away though, because he was scared. So he kept running and running and running and running. So he was running away because he's a bit of a scaredy cat. He didn't want to face his eternity, his life, his death. Sorry. He wanted to live, so therefore his brother decided to let him live. So his brother told the two other jacks what to do. So he wasn't that evil. He just wanted to hurt his brother until he gave up on being the king. So he just hurt him. So he just told the two red jacks what to do. So he eventually left the conversation, stood next to his best friend. And what they did was they sandwiched the king in between each other. Just like that. Then they just kept tossing him around in between each other, just like that. Until he pretty much gave up. And then he forfeited his position to a jack, which therefore made his younger brother, the evil one, the king. Dun dun dun.